My name's Anietie Ekanem, and I have the opportunity to be the founder of OneBayview.com and One Bayview Speaks, which is our online series. And we are doing that to sort of really share with the community a lot about the shuttle that's coming. I just wanted to sort of go through, really talk about our introductions, some acknowledgements, have us learn a little bit about the shuttle, definitely share your thoughts, and we'll sort of go through and talk about next steps. I'm going to go ahead and read. This is the African American Ancestral Acknowledgement. We honor the gifts, resilience, and sacrifices of our Black ancestors, particularly those who have toiled the land and built the institutions that established the city's wealth and freedom, despite never being compensated nor fully realized their own sovereignty. We acknowledge this exploitation not only labor, but of our humanity, and through this process are working to repair some of the harms done by public and private actors. Because of their work, we are here and will invest in the descendants of their legacy. We also would like to do one for the Anietie Ekanem sort of land acknowledgement. I know you did this one last time, Chris. Would you mind doing it again?
Yes, I'd be happy to, Anietie. We acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Anietie Ekanem, were the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. As the indigenous stewards of this land, and in accordance with their traditions, the Anietie Ekanem have never ceded nor lost nor forgotten their responsibilities as the caretakers of this place, as well as for all peoples who reside in their traditional territory. As guests, we recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland. We wish to pay our respects by acknowledging to the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Anietie community, and by affirming their sovereign rights as First People.
Thank you. I want to sort of go through why on our side with One Bayview, why do we do this? One, I do this because it's the right thing to do. We actually started way back, I think, in 2017. And I was in a number of meetings. And with those meetings, we had a number of folks, especially in sort of either government or some nonprofits, who had their meetings at 10 a.m., 1 p.m. or right at 5 and wondered why people couldn't show up. I think during the pandemic, we sort of realized, oh, we can actually engage in various ways that actually suits our lifestyles in a way that we can actually get there. And that's really sort of where this was born out of, because we know that people want to engage in their communities. It just a lot of times it hasn't been done in a way that was beneficial for their timing. So that's where this all came about, as far as really wanting to connect people with the issues that are really important in their own neighborhoods in a way that sort of makes sense. And we sort of found this online format to make sense for just a number of different folks. And really for us, like I said, it's about connecting all members of the Bayview neighborhood and beyond in meaningful ways that help transform the community. And it's also really important to us that when we talk about the Bayview community, we actually mean it. I've sat in a number of conversations with builders, et cetera, where they talk about community and we're like, who have you talked to, right? Where are they from? If you're gonna talk about Bayview folks, don't really sort of bring in people from North Beach and sort of say that that's the same thing, because it's not, you know? So we're just really sort of focused in on that. Really want to acknowledge the folks who live in 94124 and our neighboring community, absolutely. But when it comes to things that are specific to the Bayview and 94124, we want those voices to step forward and be heard. And so we do One Bayview Speaks with a webinar series. Again, a way for us to connect and sort of give back and really sort of have a lot of interactions with folks here locally. We also have our newsletter, The Insider, that we get out to community. Now it's sort of been, we sort of rejuvenated it. The list is actually growing again. So we're really sort of looking forward to having sort of more communications that way. In the past, we've done Shop Bayview, a number of different initiatives to sort of help people just to shop locally. We want to sort of grow, do that again and sort of grow that, especially as our 3rd Street corridor. And honestly, we've seen this all over the city, right? As people and industries have changed, people's buying habits have changed. And so we actually want to do more to sort of connect people with the good business and the things that are right in the neighborhood. And, this is our opportunity to do exactly that. And then we have our One Bayview site. If you actually go to onebayview.com, it's actually up. We're doing private betas with a number of different groups. So if you are interested, we'd totally love to connect with you on that. And really sort of taking a look at it as a hub of information for our neighborhood in a number of different areas. And with that, I wanted to dive right in and really sort of talk about One Bayview and transportation. I think for me, this is super important on so many different levels. How we get around, how we actually decide to move our atoms from place to place in this sort of new digital world is going to be extremely important. Like, we have to do it. I think we put even more importance on that now. And there's this opportunity in defining the Bayview Shuttle, and would like to sort of jump into that right now. Really want to talk about the purpose and intent is really to create an open dialogue for real community members to share their experience and challenges around equity and also transportation here in the Bayview. We want to uplift those ideas to help shape the Bayview Shuttle. We've already done one of these, and the feedback that we got was really great. And so want to sort of continue this trend sort of moving forward. Also, just talk really quickly just about community agreements. I think this is great. This is a space where we can talk and really have conversations. I just want folks to be aware of the intent and impact of their words. Practice self-care. If you need a break, take it. If you can, really sort of think about sort of both and, right? Not, this is not just a one-person shuttle. This is actually going to be the community. But within that, we totally want you to step forward and give your perspective so we can actually incorporate it in. Sort of approach it with the beginner's mind, right? There's no wrong answers, especially as we sort of move forward to really help define what this sort of looks like. And also just be mindful of the space that you occupy. Some people want to give a lot, and that's awesome. We love that. But also being able to sort of give space to others to sort of have this conversation too would be really, really amazing. And I look forward to that. I wanted to actually open it up real quickly and just ask people currently, how do you get around? You can either put it in the chat, you can sort of say it. There are a number of things that we've done. I mean, so Christopher Kidd, he's actually with SFMTA, and he's going to talk a bunch more later. But I know we've been on calls and you sort of taking your bike to work.
Yeah, that's right. I actually live in Oakland, so I often will bike to BART and then take BART and then actually switch to Muni to be able to get to my office at SFMTA. But yeah, I think Muni first and foremost, but also love walking around and driving when I need to, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Lucy, thanks so much. So we have our settings a little wonky today. I don't know if we're going to be able to change it, but if you go ahead and put it in the chat, even if it's to me, and it's appropriate, I'll definitely sort of share it out. So if there are other areas that people sort of want to sort of answer this, just let me know. Clearly we have SFMTA. Oh, that's great. So Lucy, thanks so much. But Sharon, I drive our students around via car, and lots of them using multiple buses from around the city. Transit, cab, friends, walk a little bit. Thanks so much for that, Wendy. Again, people sort of moving from place to place, seeing how they do it currently. This is just wonderful. There are, of course, ride shares out there that people can use. We just talked about bike share, and there's those electronic bikes, Fords, or they used to be jump bikes too, that are out there. Caltrains, BART, bike routes, bike lanes. There are a number of sort of biking programs actually going on in the Bayview via Park and Rec. Oh, Lucy, thanks so much for sharing this. Ride shares are illegal for underage students, but most students and their parents are not aware of this, did not know that. Something that we might want to check on. And actually, as we sort of talk about what the shuttle can be, it could actually be really helpful for that. So stay tuned and definitely want to sort of hear more. Of course, there are community benefits that sort of come along with the builders, and I think people have sort of given some great alternatives also. I did want to, but then it sort of brings us here. There's so many of these different options available. And then we want to really sort of come back and sort of say, hey, what I've heard about this Bayview shuttle thing, really, what is it and why? Before we go there, I think one of the reasons why I wanted to get involved in this, I don't know about you, but there have been a lot of meetings I've been in where people have wanted community input. And it was really clear just after a little bit, they've already decided what they wanted. And this was just a checkbox, right? Which is really frustrating. However, this shuttle is not that, right? Like literally, you folks here, the people, we will be sending out surveys. Your input is critically important because we're defining it from the ground up. Nothing's defined yet, right? So when we're talking about, oh, community gets to define it, no, we really do mean that. You know, all the way around 360, who's going to drive it, where should it go, et cetera. So that's critically important.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel One Bayview and check on our other podcast episodes. You can also visit our website at www.onebayview.com. Get connected with the community by visiting our social media accounts in Facebook, X, and Instagram.